Japan is renowned for its rich fishing tradition and advanced techniques that contribute significantly to its seafood industry. Longline fishing is one of the most notable methods that Japanese fishermen employ, especially for catching tuna. This involves using a main fishing line stretching for 30 miles, with over 2,000 baited hooks hanging off at even intervals. Squid and mackerel are the two most common baits used here. This method is highly effective for catching large, deep-swimming species like bluefin tuna. Japan is one of the top consumers and harvesters of tuna worldwide. Approximately 21 million pounds of bluefin tuna were harvested in 2022. On board the fishing vessels, tuna are usually bled, gutted, and then stored in ice or refrigerated seawater tanks. Tuna destined for export or storage is flash frozen at around -60 degrees Celsius. This is to prevent ice crystals from forming, which can damage the flesh. A high-grade bluefin tuna might be worth thousands of dollars, so fishers take great care to ensure minimal bruising for highly priced sushi and sashimi. After being landed at ports, tunas are then taken to markets for auction. The most famous of these is the Toyosu Market in Tokyo, which replaced the iconic Tsukiji Market. At these auctions, tuna are meticulously inspected and graded based on size, color, fat content, and overall quality. In 2019, a 276 kilogram bluefin tuna was sold at about $3.1 million. Traditionally, the first fish of the year is the priciest because it indicates a prolific harvest for the entire year. Purse seine fishing uses large nets over a mile long that encircle schools of skipjack tuna, typically near the surface. Once the tuna are surrounded, the bottom of the net is pulled closer, trapping the fish inside. Tons of fish are hauled on board in a matter of hours. Japan's catch of skipjack tuna was around 661.3 million tons in 2022. This species is commonly used in canned tuna and katsuobushi, or dried bonito flakes. On this Japanese pole and line fishing boat, fishers stand in a row, each with a pole, rapidly hooking and hauling in tuna. As the name suggests, this traditional method involves fishers using poles and lines, each equipped with a single hook. Anglers use live bait to attract tuna and pull them on board one by one. Though it may look like a lot of effort, each person can catch more than 661 pounds of skipjack and yellowfin tuna in an hour without any bycatch. The yellowfin tuna catch was about 200 million pounds in 2022, mainly used for both fresh consumption and canning. Squid is a popular ingredient in various Japanese dishes, such as the famous grilled squid street food. The export market is also significant, with Japan exporting over 340,000 pounds of squid to countries like China, South Korea, and the US. Jigging is the most common method for catching squid. It involves using lines with multiple jigs or lures that mimic small fish or other prey. These jigs are equipped with barbless hooks designed to snag the squid's tentacles. Squid are attracted to light, so many Japanese squid fisheries use powerful lights to lure them to the surface at night. Jigging can be done manually or with mechanized jigging machines, which are more efficient for commercial purposes. A Japanese squid fishing vessel might employ dozens of jigging lines simultaneously, each with several jigs, in order to maximize the catch. The main squid species caught in Japan include the Japanese flying squid and the neon flying squid. In 2022, Japan's squid catch was approximately 989,000 pounds. Some squid species are caught using bottom or midwater trawls, which involve dragging a large net through the water. Trawling is less selective than jigging and can result in higher bycatch, but it is effective for capturing large quantities of squid. Less prevalent compared to jigging and trawling, squid potting is handcrafted traps, usually baited with small fish, that are left in the ocean for several hours to a day before being harvested. This method is also used to catch octopus in some traditional fishing prefectures like Hokkaido and Nagasaki. After the squid are caught, they are typically washed and chilled immediately in order to preserve freshness. They are then sorted by species, size, and quality. In processing plants, the squids are thoroughly cleaned and gutted. This involves removing the head, innards, ink sac, and sometimes the skin. Most factories here hire hundreds of highly skilled workers for these tasks in order to ensure efficiency and hygiene. Together, they can process around 8,000 squids each hour. Depending on the end product, squid are cut and prepared in various ways. Common preparations include slicing into rings, cutting into strips, or preparing whole squids for grilling or boiling. Once frozen, the squid is vacuum sealed and packaged for retail or bulk distribution. Some squid are also processed into surimi, a paste used to make imitation crab and other seafood products. Grilled dried squid is also a popular snack in Japan. The squid is cleaned, cut open, and then dried naturally or in special ovens. Longline fishing is the most common method for catching marlin in Japan. This technique involves setting out a long main line, often several kilometers in length, with numerous branch lines called snoods, each ending in a baited hook. In 2022, Japan's marlin catch was approximately 5,000 metric tons. Blue marlin accounted for 60% of the total marlin catch. Approximately 30% of the catch consists of striped marlin, with the remainder being other marlin species like black marlin or white marlin. While not a primary method for commercial purposes, rod and reel fishing is popular for sport in Japan. Marlin tournaments and charter fishing trips are common, especially around Okinawa and other southern islands. A mature marlin typically weighs 600 pounds, but can exceed 1,000 pounds. Sports fishers target marlin around the Okinawa Islands and use heavy-duty rods and reels that can sustain their extreme pulling force of around 80 pounds. Live tuna bait or artificial lures are often used to attract these large predators. Harpoon fishing is a traditional method still used in some regions. It involves manually or mechanically throwing a harpoon to catch the marlin. This method is highly selective, but requires significant skill and experience. In certain coastal areas, experienced fishers use harpoons to catch marlins during their migration periods, when these fish come closer to the shore. In 2023, Japan exported over 1,000 metric tons of marlin. primarily to markets in the United States and Europe, where demand for premium seafood remains high. Large, high-quality marlins are often processed differently than smaller or damaged ones. A blue marlin caught off the coast of Okinawa is immediately iced or cut for consumption in order to stay fresh. In processing facilities, marlins undergo a thorough cleaning. This includes removing the head, guts, and other inedible parts. The fish is then filleted, with the meat being separated from the bones and skin. Automated filleting machines are commonly used to increase efficiency and ensure uniform cuts. At this processing plant in Shizuoka, advanced filleting machines can process hundreds of kilograms of marlin's meat per hour. Marlin steaks are packaged in vacuum-sealed bags and are sold in supermarkets across Japan. High-quality marlin meat, particularly from species like the blue marlin, is often used for sashimi and sushi. The fillets are sliced into thin pieces and packaged for retail or restaurant use. Hello, my friends. What happens on the ships in Korean waters? How do fishermen bring seafood from the ocean to one of the world's most famous seafood markets? Right now, we are watching how Korean fishermen catch and process millions of tons of seafood. Along the Korean coast, mackerel is caught in large quantities. It is also a familiar food ingredient that is always on people's dining tables. Mackerel fishing varies somewhat by region. For example, the US commercial Atlantic mackerel fishery operates mainly from January to May and is worth around $1.1 million annually. While most cases are in South Korea, the mackerel fishing season lasts from October to March of the following year. At this time, the water temperature increases and mackerel migrate to the West Sea, causing the numbers to increase to their highest levels. This makes it easy to achieve a bumper harvest. In 2022, Korea caught around 151,000 tons of mackerel. On other fishing boats, if the weather is bad or the tide is not favourable, the number of fish caught is limited, but mackerel swim in groups once a day and bring large quantities of themselves to the fishermen. They are concentrated in the waters of Gyeongju and Pohang in the southern South China Sea. 3 to 4 anglers go fishing together, and if there are a lot of mackerel, they can quickly fill the cooler, so the fishing time is a bit short, around 4 to 6 hours. Some fishermen can catch mackerel and enjoy sashimi right there on the boat. Customers always like to process mackerel as soon as possible to keep the fresh taste. So, right after the catch, it is a race against time to the distribution process. The mackerel is stored in the ship's warehouse. This is currently being transferred by crane to the transportation vehicle. This is a wonderful scene. Trucks unload a large quantity of mackerel and workers begin the sorting process. Around 70,000 cartons of mackerel were manually sorted overnight for 8 hours. Mackerel go through a selection process according to size, resulting in different prices and uses. Except for the mackerel that is used immediately, the remaining amount will be packaged and preserved. Since freshness is important, it is packaged at the same time as the auction and goes straight into the freezer. After disemboweling the mackerel and washing it in salt water, It is marinated in a large amount of salt. After about a month, the fish marinade will become clear and then can be used to determine flavour. This is a popular preservation method, and salted mackerel can be used after about 20 days. The Busan Fish Market. This place has turned Busan into a well-known seafood city. Every day, traders trade thousands of dollars worth of fish. Hidden rules and secrets come together in one place to shop for the best seafood products. Here, thousands of tons of mackerel are traded every day. 90% of seafood distributed nationwide is located right here, which is also one of the best fish markets in the world. The fishing industry in South Korea contributes significantly to both domestic economy and the global seafood market. In addition to mackerel, Alaska pollock is also very popular. This fish is found widely around the Korean peninsula. Fishermen mainly use large-scale trawl fishing methods, including midline and bottom trawls. This method is effective in catching large quantities, especially in deeper waters where the pollock reside. In 2023, South Korea's pollock catch was reported to be around 321,000 pounds. Pollock fishing occurs in both domestic waters such as the South China Sea and in international waters, including the Bering Sea. This is also a popular pollock fishing area in the US. In 2023, the total value of commercial fishing in the Bering Sea and the Gulf of Alaska will reach $383 million US. To sustainably manage pollock stocks, the Korean government enforces strict regulations. These include total allowable catch limits, seasonal closures, and fishing gear restrictions to minimize impacts on pollock populations. Pollock is an important commodity for the Korean economy. It is processed into various products such as surimi and fish fillets. This industry not only deserves domestic consumption, but also has a significant export volume, contributing well to the national economy. This is where they get their unique flavour through a unique freeze-drying process. Once caught, the pollock is cleaned and prepared before being hung like this. From 40 to 90 days in a cold, windy outdoor environment, the pollock slowly dries. It freezes at night and then thaws during the day. This happens every day, and after many contractions and expansions, this meat will have a rich flavour. The pollock fishing industry in Korea faces a number of challenges. Pollock populations have declined due to environmental changes, overfishing, and natural predation. These fluctuations pose a significant challenge in maintaining stable catch levels. Korean fishermen must compete with fleets from other countries, especially in the Bering Sea, which can lead to conflicts over fishing rights and quotas. Next is squid, one of the most stable products of the East Coast fisheries, and one of the most consumed seafood products in Korea. Squid fishing boats go out to sea during the fishing season from May until November. Fishermen prepare ice before going out to sea. For short-term fishing vessels without a refrigeration system on board, ice is the only preservation method. At the same time, it helps fishermen feel secure when fishing in remote fishing grounds. Squids are most attracted to white and green light. so the best time for fishing is at night. The boats arrange super bright lights along the ship and bait to attract eager squids to feed. Fishermen use barbed bait lines underwater, and the squid is hooked and falls into the side of the boat. This is a special feature of squid catching ships. Both sides of the ship are equipped with about 200 high-power light bulbs. Lights hung on shelves are intended to lure squid from the deep sea. At night, when the light bulb is turned on, it stands out among the darkness at sea. The bright light of the squid fishing boat can be seen with the naked eye more than 100 miles away at sea. This makes finding the squid easy. When the time is right, dozens of fishing lines are released into the water under the bright lights, each line carrying a specialized squid hook. When a squid gets caught on the fishing line, the reel automatically flips it onto the metal rack. Baskets are placed here to catch all of the falling squid. Preserving fresh squid after catching it is the deciding factor in whether the squid is delicious or not. The first 20 minutes after catching is the golden time for preservation. The number of hooked squids follows the line and falls. Fishermen will wash them and then put them in ice boxes in order to maintain freshness and their eye-catching colours. When the ship finally docks, the squid is delivered to the customer within 24 hours of being caught. For ships at sea for many days, the squid will be frozen into blocks to ensure quality. After fresh squid is caught, they follow the conveyor belt right into the ship's hold. Fishermen will arrange them in trays like this. After that, these squid trays are put into frozen storage. Squid fishing using fishing rigs and LED lights is one of the methods that has little impact on the marine environment. Compared to pollock, the bycatch rate during the squid fishing season is very low. This is because only squid attack these special jigs. This keeps the bycatch rate low. Additionally, shrimp fishing is also an important part of Korea's maritime economy. They use advanced fishing methods in order to efficiently and sustainably harvest. Bottom trawling is a method mainly used by Korean shrimp fishermen. The fishermen cast trawl nets along the seabed in order to catch the shrimp. This method is popular when harvesting large quantities of shrimp and is commonly used in both coastal and offshore waters. Fishermen drag the nets through the water column at different depths. This method may be useful in targeting shrimp species that do not live directly on the seabed. However, trawls are used selectively, depending on the species of shrimp and their behaviour. Modern shrimp vessels are equipped with advanced technologies such as sonar and GPS to help locate shrimp populations more effectively. These technologies help fishermen optimize catches while reducing time spent at sea. The southern coast of Korea, including the waters surrounding Jeju Island, is known for its diverse marine life and rich shrimp population. The combination of warm ocean currents and diverse underwater terrain make this area ideal for shrimping. According to the latest statistics, Korea's total shrimp catch in 2023 was up to around 50,000 tons. Similar to fish or squid, shrimp fishing is also banned during specific periods of time in order to allow shrimp populations to recover and reproduce. The fishing industry creates additional jobs at processing plants where shrimp are processed for both domestic and export consumption. Korean shrimp are popular in the international market. especially in Japan, the United States, and in the European countries.